Hi everyone, it's Marieta, founder of Immigration Bees, and today I have a guest, very special guest, super successful, super smart immigrant, Tatiana, who is the founder of a company, Radiance Groupies Inc, and she's also E2 visa investor. Tatiana, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you. It's an honor. I'm excited.
So tell us about your journey, why you decided at the first place to move to the US and how that move changed your life.
So, 4 years ago, I found myself stuck in my business. I owned a successful business in Montreal, Canada, and I felt stuck, and I ended up going completely without really knowing what I was getting into. I ended up going to a Tony Robbins event called Date with Destiny. And it really was the date with my destiny because not knowing anything I was getting into in terms of the event or even Tony Robbins, I didn't even know him from far, with the guy with the big teeth. That was it.
Super tall guy with the big teeth.
Yeah, I don't know. It was one guy on infomercials with big teeth. I didn't, at the time when I would hear those commercials, it would annoy me, so I would turn him off. And so I ended up at this event, and it turned out to be the date with my destiny. I realized that I was not living the life that I wanted anymore. It had been great. It had been fun. I learned so much through the previous business I had, but I felt stuck. I felt like I had lost my choice. I forgot I had a choice. And so by going through the event, I realized that not only did I want to sell my business, but I also wanted to move. Montreal is an adopted city. I am Canadian, and also I am French to begin with. I was born on a French Polynesian island. That was my youth, and it was paradise, and it really created the baseline for who I am as a person. And so I was done with living in minus 30 and being the trooper that I am, just marching through the snowbanks and basically not looking at it as an obstacle, just embracing it, but I was done.
Yeah.
So I proceeded in selling my business and jumping with Tony Robbins in a even deeper in a deeper way by joining his platinum group, and that's a full immersion type of network for a year. I traveled the world, and through that process I realized that I had a lot of unmasking and unveiling to do to get to really my truth and my power and my light. And the process of that led me to create this niche, actually, with his mentoring, as we had several conversations one-on-one about that. And the niche is really about women's power and women's feminine power and how to leverage that feminine power in business. So what does that really mean? It means that a woman in business loses her femininity, loses her essence. She loses sight of what makes her so powerful and so special to begin with, because she has bypassed her qualities, bypassed her intrinsic attributes to fit into a world that is mostly a masculine, energetic world, not just populated by men, but really infused in energy by that masculine energy, which is completely different and complementary to ours, right?
Yep.
But so many of us in business find ourselves at some point having or experiencing all kinds of common denominators, like feeling overwhelmed, feeling like we've said yes to too many people, stacking up so many responsibilities because we're saying yes to everything and everyone, because we want to please everyone, we want to nurture everyone, we want to give to everyone. We find ourselves stuck sometimes in our business, like I did. We are not the mothers we want to be. We are not the leaders in our business that we thought we would be. We have a bit of an issue with influence. We don't have the influence we want. And most often as well, by the way, ladies, we have poor relationships, poor intimate relationships with the men that surround us or are in our intimate life, either a spouse or a boyfriend, or oftentimes, like I had no one in my life. So I unveiled all of that, and I discovered that is when that happens, when a woman lives in her masculine energy versus her feminine energy. And so unmasking all of that is vital so that you become an authentic leader, so that you become truly way more powerful than you ever thought. So when I did this whole process, created this niche, I also knew I wanted to live somewhere else. So I thought, well, my choice is California.
Sure.
I met you through one of these events, and we started talking, and you basically created the opportunity for me to
make your dream come true.
Make my dream come true. Bring my business, which was basically created in the States to begin with, and we created the E2 visa around this business, and I invested heavily into my business, which is really my mission. So you basically helped me create or make my vision happen.
Exactly.
It was created. I had the vision, but I didn't know how I could possibly make it happen.
Yeah.
So
now looking back, would you say the process was easy, or was it challenging? Was it something that you didn't expect, or tell us, looking back, how you see it now?
So of course, the way that I am is I'm the type that says yes and I figure it out later. So yes to a new life, yes to a new location, yes to living in the States, yes to creating a mission that is solely based on my purpose, and yes to all of that. And so I always see things much easier than they actually end up being, because I'm an eternal optimist and I believe in creating dreams and making them happen, right? So now I would say this process is totally dependent on a lawyer that makes your life easier, because it is not an easy process. It is tedious. It is very detailed. It requires a lot of paperwork and diligence to follow a process. And I'm not the type of person. I'm an entrepreneur, so processes and reading instructions and all of that totally does not agree with me. But in the end, what a gift it was to have you on my side, because it was not easy, but so worth it. Yeah,
now you are free and you can do the thing that you came here to do, which is help so many women as well as men, because I believe that your message needs to be heard, and definitely men need this as well, just like women, especially nowadays when the world is changing and the old ways of doing business no longer apply. This is a must message to be spread.
It's absolutely, thank you for underlining that, because I was actually reading this morning an article on gender diversity, and that most American companies that already have gender diversity programs within the company are not efficient. So what it means is that men and women are still not understanding each other. Why is that? Because they really both try to make the other one like themselves. And so they tend to project on one another behaviors, thinking that is not theirs. And if we were to simply accept and embrace who we are, really authentically, and not try to make men walk with heels and their suits, and if they stop making us look like hairy women, then it would work so much better, and we would actually not only communicate better, respect each other better, but I think we would actually focus on productivity and efficiency in a company, rather than consistently trying to understand each other. I mean,
So basically, the problem you see is that men are trying to be feminine and women are trying to be way too masculine, and that is creating the problem.
I believe that women are molding themselves to be in a masculine world so that they can be more included, respected, promoted,
accepted.
and I believe that that is actually their biggest obstacle to being more successful, more powerful, and having more of an impact in their companies and in the business world. I believe that women wait too long to be empowered. I don't believe that it's about empowerment, because empowerment actually means being given power. I believe women have power. They're just not daring enough. They're not jumping off their cliff enough. They need to really realize that their power is really in them already.
Yeah.
They just haven't grabbed it. They haven't embraced it and fully own it and ground themselves into that. And I believe that when we are in our masculine energy as women, when we live there because we just don't know better, which was my story. I mean, I didn't have a man in my life. I created this empire around me, so it was my protection, and it worked for a certain amount of time. But at some point, I felt really stuck. I wanted to have a man, but I was intimidating apparently to them, which is another common denominator of a woman who lives in her masculine energy, because the guys don't want to be.
You know what? It's like
another guy in heels.
I totally know what you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah,
so we all live that, because it is what is happening. It's happening to us in this world because we are not conscious enough to really own our feminine power. We're not daring enough.
We are afraid. We are afraid to be. We are afraid to be women, and we are afraid to be. And men are afraid to be men.
Well, because, okay, so then coming back to those guys, so what's happened is because we've become so masculine, we've emasculated a lot of them. So do you think that they dare to actually be more masculine with us? Because they're afraid of rejection.
Exactly.
Obviously, at some point, you know, I've witnessed women who don't want a man to open the door for them. And they're like, well, I can do it myself. And
oh my God.
You know, I can do it myself, but, you know, feeling like you have to prove yourself is actually a sign that you're not in your power.
Yeah.
Because when you know who you are and you completely own who you are, you don't need to prove nothing to anyone, let alone a man who's just being a gentleman, wanting to open the door for you and honoring that.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
It's and men, they love to take care of us. Men, they love to help us. So even we can implement this to work environment. When we don't know something, we can admit it and ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. We don't need to do it all ourselves.
No, exactly. And there's so many tricks that I teach to men and women about how to really get the best of one another, meaning how to leverage who you really are and get the results that you're wanting in terms of business results. You know, it's fascinating. I just did I have a mastermind here in LA with Tony Robbins people, and so I was teaching a couple nights ago about feminine masculine energy, and oh my God, like throughout the 2 hours I was teaching that, they were like, oh, the eyes were opening and they were like, oh my God, I never knew that. Had I known that my relationship with so-and-so and at work, I would have, you know, understood him better. I would have respected her more. And this, it's unbelievable. Like education needs to get out for this content, because it is powerful and it's going to change lives, and it's going to allow, it's almost like giving the permission to women to be more women. And
at the same time, you do the same to men. So it's really, it's really,
freeing.
It's freeing, and you are creating, actually you are helping people to go back to their own innocence, authenticity, and just be yourself. That's it. In other words,
powerfully. Be yourself powerfully, unapologetically, and with grace, because it's a different energy when you really are yourself. You don't go into this I'm French, competitive energy. You don't go into defiance. You don't go into proving yourself. You don't, because that comes from insecurity. Somebody who's trying so hard to prove herself, so hard to fit in, so hard to, be included and be promoted and all of that. When you're trying so hard, that's a really good sign that you're trying way too hard. Like if you really are grounded in who you are and you fully own it, it diffuses a different energy, which, by the way, makes everybody relax around you. And it builds trust. I mean, anyways, I could go on.
I love this, and I can see you are so passionate about it, and you know so much information, and you are like real expert. So if people want to work with you, where can they find you?
They can find me everywhere.
Oh my God, you're dominating.
They can find me. So I have my site is www.tatianajudiez.com. On that, there is even a way to schedule an appointment with me, so they can have access to a free consultation if you want to chat about all of this. So I do one-on-one coaching. I have 3 different
programs,
types of coaching relationships, programs. I'm launching also a group coaching platform for women in business who want to be the change in this world. So that's being launched on February 14th, Love Day.
I love that.
And then I'm also creating trainings, corporate trainings for gender diversity programs in various companies. That's also very dear to my heart because that's coming back to really helping men and women, not just women. And
and you are also working on your book. You also work on your book. So when do you think you will be done?
My book, and I'm speaking. I love connecting with people. I love speaking about all of this because I'm so passionate, and connecting directly with people is really my gift. So if you need a speaker on any of these subjects, I am totally in. This year, I decided I'm accepting all speaking opportunities.
Yes, that's the way to go, because you started, I mean, you came to this country only recently, so you are building the new life, and obviously that takes some time as well. So I think it's important to mention that, so people don't think like, oh, I got a visa and I'm good. No, that's actually when everything starts, right? So there is a lot of work ahead of you. But I'm sure that you will rock, and you are already rocking. You are amazing, and I will post all the links below so people can definitely find you. And for those who have any questions, you guys can leave the comments below. Anything else you like to add at the end?
I wanted to add that when any of you are fearful to actually embark on this journey, I would say that fear is a really great indicator for you that it is something that's meant to be on your path. So take it as an opportunity to reach beyond what you think is within your reach right now. Just reach beyond and dare to dream and make it happen. So it's possible, and I've done it, and I'm not that special.
You are living proof of it, and you know what, you are special, because everyone is special. You are who you are, and you are special with your own gifts and talents that you have. So you are special, and you've done it. So you are actually living proof. And even though your journey wasn't easy, you made it. So it's a big deal. You made it. So
it took me a good 4 years between that Date with Destiny event with Tony to now, and now I actually coach with Tony Robbins in some of his events. I'm part of that family. I'm just I'm just loving life, and I'm just the living example that you can make anything happen that you really want in your life. It's a question of belief and choice and resilience, and you can do it.
I love this.
And work with Marieta.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. And I really appreciate people like you. When I work with people like you, it's totally different level of cooperation. And even though sometimes it's not easy, right? We have to say that it's not easy.
I got frustrated a few times.
It's not straightforward path. It's not straightforward, but at the end, it's worth it. And what makes me really, my heart sing, is to see that people are living their dreams, because I'm like one of you guys. Like, I came here as an immigrant.
Absolutely.
I've been through the same process. So like for me, being able to help people, it really feels like I'm helping myself again and again and again.
And that is the key right now. This is how we are changing the world. This is how women are changing the world, is by cooperating together, collaborating, and really raising that level of consciousness
Totally.
together by supporting one another. I mean, I've sent you numerous clients
Yep.
since, and I am including you in my community of
And yeah, and I'm happy to
references.
come over and speak whatever for free. I don't mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We can do
same.
workshop, and you come over
Exactly.
here, and
Oh.
we cooperate.
Yeah, and I'm going to be creating events too this year. I'm creating events, so that's coming probably in about four or 5 months, something like that. But
love
I
that.
am definitely creating events, so you should come and speak.
Absolutely, I love that. And in fact, I have a friend here in San Fran who is the organizer. He has a company who is organizing conferences, and oh my god, I just had an idea. I have to connect you with him. I'm going to tell him about you, and he can even organize like big thing for you. Oh my god. Anyway, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Okay, this was super exciting interview. Thank you so much for your time, and I will post the links below so people can contact you. I wish you so much luck. I'm not sure if you need it on your journey, but anyway, I hope
I always
everything.
need more love and more light.
Exactly, love and light, so everything goes the way you want, and you are keep creating amazing reality of your business and personal life in your new home in LA.
Thank you.
Aw. And thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. If you have any comments, leave them below, and I'll see you in my next video. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.